It's NFL Straya. Playoffs. Who's ready for some playoffs? I'm your co-host, Jaymz Clements. I'm a guy here in the Studs feeling like a winner. Jeez, that must be pretty tough on me being the only one on the show feeling like that today. Woo! On the other side of this here screen is a bloke who I have a great relationship with, which is why I scream in his face on TV and headbutt him in front of everybody. The back-to-back Supies is over. It is sometimes singer in a band called The Ramshack Alarmy. He is the Philadelphia Eagles' biggest fan. Down under, he's my mate, he's your mate. It's Gaz.
Yep. How you going, Jim? Yeah,
I didn't do the usual Gaz. What's going on?
This is for those who are watching on this is straight tequila, Jim, and it's been that way since about fucking midday yesterday.
Amazing stuff.
And look, as I said to you, look, anyone who listens to the show, been saying all season, this offense stinks. I had this small glimmer of hope that there was something being held back, Jim. There was something being held back, and it was our second halves. That's really what it was. It was the fucking entire season of second halves. Decisions need to be made. Heads need to fucking roll, Jim. I'm saying it. It's going to happen. But there's a game wrap up where I can rant a little bit more about that.
I just feel I love that Eagles kid who came out of the game.
Patullo
has got to go and flip hamburgers.
Yeah, AJ's got to pack his bags. Patullo's got to flip an hamburger.
I love it. Philadelphia, what a brotherly love vibes in the city. Anyway, this is our Super Wildcard week wrap up show. We'll set you up for week 2. The divisional round as well. But we'll get some quick yeah-nahs in there as well. We'll talk about the losers. We'll talk about some of the winning stuff as well. But that's kind of it. Like, it was just a really fun week. The games are all psycho. I can't wait to dig into it. So, episode 158 of NFL Straya. Let's go!
Don't know how I am gonna deal with it.
Patullo's got to go. Sirianni's got to go. AJ Brown's got to go. Jalen Hurts has got to go. They all got to go. G'day, I'm just some kid walking out of the bloody Eagles game, and you're listening to NFL Straya. I swear.
Raisin passionate, Jim. You can buy T-shirts in fucking Philly that say Dallas sucks. They raise them passionate. They raise them early. They've saved a lot of grease from light poles this year.
I love it. My other option for the intro break ad was, I'm too old for this shit. Hi, I'm Aaron Rodgers, and you're listening to NFL Straya. Because what a week 1 of the NFL playoffs that was, Gary. Tell you what, chaos from the very get-go, because, I mean, the Panthers nearly upset the Rams as massive home underdogs, which would have been pretty fun. We did get a massive, insane Packers-Bears game. The Jags-Bills came down to the wire. There was obviously a pretty wild, interesting, fun Eagles game in there. The Pats got into an arm wrestle, and Aaron Rodgers got cooked because, I don't know, turns out doing ayahuasca doesn't make you a better QB. I'm just saying. All the darkness retreats in the world might not mean that you can actually throw a pass that your bloody giant wide receiver DK Metcalf can.
Are we calling you guys trying to literally fucking kill Juzzy Herbs, your mate Juzzy Herbs? Are we calling that an arm wrestle, are we? Is that how you're trying to show interest in all of the games? Anyway, let's get through.
To be honest, for the hurt they were putting on him, half of them could have gone to jail, but that's all right.
Fuck. Yeah.
I'm just saying the Chargers should also just go to jail for the lack of protection they're giving my beloved Juzzy Herbs.
I think my favorite, we'll talk about it in a bit, but my favorite saying was post was like, the US is going through a massive obesity crisis and you couldn't find 5 fat dudes to get in the way of Juzzy Herbs. Oh, Lord.
It is, we'll talk about it, but it is, I don't know. I love reading wash-ups and the now I get it kind of vibes that we get this time of year from a playoff team. no doubt we'll get more in the next 2 days. As we tend to do here on NFL Straya, we talk about stuff and then a lot of stuff happens within 15 minutes of us putting the show up. I'm pretty sure.
I'm going to say it now. Breaking news, Kevin Patullo's fired. Who would have thought we would get to break it first, Jim? Who would have thought?
You need to credit NFL Straya with that breaking news as well, everybody.
Daybowl's coming in to just say, fuck you, Giants, and going to be the quarterback whisperer against Jalen Hurts. Anyway, let's move on.
Because, I mean, this is the other sort of news that we didn't hit on last week because it happened, I reckon, 15 minutes after we posted the shows that John Harbaugh was out in Baltimore and DJ Mikey McD was then out in Miami as well.
Oh, I didn't realize Harbaugh hadn't happened when we did it last. But I knew Mike, as soon as I saw the news of Mikey McD, we're literally talking in last week's episode about how he was going to be involved in the general manager search.
Because we did, I think the Harbaugh stuff was bubbling when we did the show last week. And we were like, if that happens, that's like, he's instantly the biggest name on the, out there. Baltimore's one of the better openings, obviously.
Already saying he's down to 2 teams. Who they are.
Well, that's kind of the newsy bit here, right? Like he's already chatting with teams. But my favorite part is that he's vetting them. Like that is such a good position to be in as an NFL coach, right? It's like, I don't want to even talk to you, dickheads. You shit house. Piss off.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh yeah, I'll have a chat with the Falcons. That'd be fun. It's like exactly that kind of makes sense. Like he's just sort of the dude. I think he's also had the phone calls with basically everybody else as he's kind of just checking up on who he wants to meet with. And that makes sense, I guess. I'd also be interested if he waits 2 more days just to see if anything else comes out from this weekend. But I don't know. It was a bit of
if you make it, it's pretty. Who would go from this weekend, really?
That is one of the other ones I have written here because last week the shock was that, look, DJ Mikey McD looked like he was safe in Miami. John Harbaugh, nothing had happened yet. And after, bloody Monday, you're kind of like, maybe he's safe. We'll see what happens. And then, boom, he gets it in the neck. The weird one that I've found in the last, 24 hours is that Matt LaFleur doesn't seem very, very safe in Green Bay.
No, weird.
That seems a bit... Because, again, if he goes on the market, he instantly becomes the belle of the ball of the coaches in the carousel.
Yeah.
Probably even ahead of John Harbaugh because... I have one question for you here, Gary. Who was the oldest NFC playoff coach in the playoffs?
Jesus.
It's Matt LaFleur, and he's 46.
Fucking really? I was just trying to work it out. I was trying to work out whether LaFleur was older than McVay. But no, there you go. LaFleur.
Older than Shanahan. Close. It's chaos, right? So it's one of those things you go, he's like, it's a young man's game, this coaching biz, unless you're Andy Reid, basically. And I kind of feel like Matt LaFleur is like, I can see where the frustration with Green Bay would come from, where it's just like, we'll talk about the game in a second, but like the results and like Green Bay, this weird sneakily snake bit team where they kind of have like these decent teams all the time, right? Like there's barely ever a down year in Green Bay. And then they just have like these kick in the dick losses in the playoffs time after time after time. And no one really sort of thinks about it because they're just such a solid winning franchise kind of shit, right?
Yeah.
And then you look at it, they've won 1 fucking Super Bowl in the last 30 years.
Yeah.
Right? They won 1 with Favre, 1 with Rodgers, and the one with Favre is fucking 96? Like, it's like fucking chaotic years ago. So you think about that and you just go, that is a long time between Supers and multiple Supers and Hall of Fame QBs left, right, and center. And just saying, bit weird. Anyway, so what do you reckon? Will he quick? Does LaFleur get in the neck?
I don't think he does. If he invested, don't get me wrong, you'd fucking want to walk straight back into that team, wouldn't you? Look, they did get a bit of a fucking, injury bug throughout the year. They lost Love for a few games. They lost, some of their wide receivers, and obviously losing Micah Parsons after you just spent a bunch of money. But you've lost a first-round pick for next year. You kind of want a bit of stability, right? So I don't think he gets it in the neck. Nah.
Right. That's all right. Injuries from the weekend as well. Big Matt Stafford sort of like, me fingy. And that looked pretty rough. Yep. Turns out they're not going to tell us if it's broken, I reckon. So they're like, oh, he's got a sprained index finger. It's like, oh, yeah, sure, it's not broken. Just keep an eye on that for next week, just saying. Gabe Davis for the Bills. Stories ACL. Brutal. Look brutal. And then Christian Gonzalez went into the concussion protocol for my beloved Patriots. Not a great vibe. And then today, Nico Collins also went into it. He got carted off, though, so it was much worse. Yeah. He also had one earlier in the season, too, so it doesn't look like the greatest of news for the Texans with Nico.
And what was the outcome on Kittle's?
And George Kittle tore his Achilles. So
there you go. That's it. I knew it was an Achilles injury.
I'm going to talk about him again later because there's a great story around that, but it's just a bit shit out. So my Niners, mate, is just like wrapped at them winning, but also is like bereft at them having no dudes left.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it makes it pretty hard. Hey, should we wrap some of the games, Gaz?
Let's do it.
All right. Game wraps. The Rams 34, Panthers 31. As 10.5-point underdogs, they were leading with 2 minutes to go and still managed to lose. But this was a wild game. Like the Rams got up 14-zip early. You're just like, all right, pack her up, boys. We're basically done here already, aren't we? And they turned it over on downs or whatever, I think, at one point in there. Or there's like a fumbler and interception. I can't remember off the top of my head. And the Panthers score. And then do they miss a field goal or something, I think, going into the half? And you're like, hang on, what is going on here? This is just getting a little bit janky to the point where it's suddenly 17-14, I think, at the half, right? I want to say that. Let's have a look at the thing so I know what I'm doing.
It was 17-14 at the half,
Yeah, so there's an interception from Bryce Young again at the end of the first. They then trade touchdowns. They kick a field goal, 17-7. 10 over on downs. That's what it was, 17-7. Then they scored their touchdown, which was gnarly because I think that was the Bryce Young scramble, which was so good. I literally gasped. I went, because I was,
my Lord,
was afraid for him, Gaz. He's the boy. Like, he looks so small out there. They've got bloody Cam Newton before the game banging the drum, which is kind of neat. And like there was like bad blood there between him and the Panthers, the way it all sort of ended both times, I think. But anyway, and you're like, oh, he's so much bigger than Bryce Young. Jesus. Anyway, Bryce Young scampers through, and like when he does his cutback, you're like, he's gonna die. But he manages to get in. And suddenly it's 17-14. You're like, this is awesome. They go, there you go. It's like incompletion. They punt at the end of the half. And suddenly it's just getting a little bit janky. And then Carolina tied up. And then there's an INT. And you're like, oh, look out. Here's a bit of, and then they've scored a touchdown. Carolina have gone ahead. You're like, oh, boil over. Of course, they reply almost straight away. Smash cut to the block punt. Panthers score again. They're up 31.
Special teams is fucking the Rams special teams. I mean, I can't really speak about special teams, but fucking hell, like there's been blocked punts, blocked kicks. That's how we beat them. Blocking 2 different field goals. Block punt was not great, but like set the Panthers up in really, really strong field position. Obviously, they punched that in.
Yeah, that Coker touchdown at the end to put them back up was just unfucking real. To the point where a mate of mine watching in the States is like, there's a lot of cokers in the fucking bathrooms of this bar. I'll tell you. Yeah, that tracks. But then they score again, just sort of, it felt wildly inevitable as the Rams like drove back down the field, right? They go to what? The Parkinson touchdown, I think, at the end to put them up for good. And then that was basically it because I think it only left 38 seconds and they just didn't have enough to go back down and score. So the Panthers, I love that. I think they came out and it's like, there's no such things as moral victories. And I'm like, au contraire. 100% a moral victory. When you're massive home underdogs, you fought, you almost won.
Yep.
Better team eventually got you right at the end. That's fucking wildly a moral victory because you got something to build off from next year.
100%. You feel you got something to,
you're all
solid ground in a fucking typically shit division. that no matter what they throw at your division, it always underachieves. And you're like, you know what? We've won it and put in a fight against the team who 4 weeks ago, everyone was blowing smoke up their ass as the Super Bowl favorites. You're like, fucking, you know what? We'll take it. Yeah.
And I think more importantly, you think back to probably, I don't know, halfway through last year when like Bryce Young's benched Andy Dalton. Yep. You're like, I think we're at a better spot now. That's okay. He looks fine. Maybe not, world-beating number one pick, but still. Rams go through. Good job. I do like that the NFC is now just the NFC West and the Bears. But anyway, Packers 27, Bears 31. Chaos game engaged. 21-3.
Fucking ridiculous.
Awesome game. The Packers blew this about 87 different fucking ways. Let me count them all. I'm not actually going to do it, but it was just insane. 21-3, Gaz. We were messaging because I was going to come watch this with you. We'd come back from the beach. The baby squid was just off his head all day. I'm like, I'm not going to take him into public. He's just going to stop.
That's exactly it. You were like, you know what? I'm going to leave you and friend of the show, Josh, to watch this game in peace.
Yeah.
We swapped venues, Jim. I was messaging you during this time, and we were trying to work out. I decided I was going to watch it with, once again, friend of the show and Legends League member, tragic Bears fan, Josh, who's been down on his team all year, going, we're going to get our ass handed to us. We're in a lot of trouble here. And so we went to a bar that we knew would have the sound on. We had two options. One was was going to be muted in public, and the other one had the sound on. So we went to that one and had his ass handed to him until halftime. And all right, come on, we'll go get the family. We'll go get the dogs. We'll go to the other pub. We'll just watch it on the screen. And then we sat down, and it was a different fucking game in the second half. Particularly that last quarter. Like, it just started to wear them down, and then that last quarter was out of fucking control. Caleb went off his fucking head, and it was amazing.
It was absurd. 25 points in the fourth quarter they scored.
Yep.
So, and 18, it was like, what? They managed to get to 6, and then skadoosh, 25 points. The throw to Adunze saved the game. It's 4th and 8. There's 5 minutes left. Gets it. It was massive. It was awesome. The 2-point conversion later on was absolutely off the chain as well.
There was a couple down the sidelines to Loveland, like kind of when the pressure was really on, just finding that hole in the zone on the boundary line. You're like, fuck yes. Like, dude was just weird. I don't understand, right, how Josh and I spent the first half commentating on this fact that, like, there'll be something dead on point from Caleb, and then there'll be something where he scrambles around for a little bit and gives his guys time to get open, and there's an easy check down that scores yards after the catch. And then there'll be something where he'll have his feet planted, everything's balanced, and just sail over a dude's head by like 5 yards.
Makes no sense.
Like, what the fuck? And then when you're like not able to do something for 3 quarters, and it should not be, we should not bypass the fact that Caleb was on the sidelines going off his fucking head, screaming, like angry. It was very difficult to tell whether he was angry at everyone else or himself. At one point, when he threw that really, really horrible interception, which I think it was the second one that was on 4th down anyway. So the interception by the Packers player actually cost the team 27 yards by just letting it fall to the ground, you fucking clown.
Yeah, it was an arm punt.
Yeah. But that seemed like that he was on the wrong page with the receiver. He went this way and I went that way. Anyway, but then all of a sudden he just, as you said last week about, lean forward, video game controller mode, and he just went fucking bang.
The arm punt one was a big moment as well, because it literally did cost them a shit ton of field position. And the Loveland thing was fascinating, because he sort of just went, hang on a second, I decided the dude is bigger than everybody.
Yeah.
All the time. They kept spamming it, and they just kept moving up and down the field with the almost impunity. But the missed field goal at the end from Green Bay obviously cost them. There was just like these moments where they'd have like these brain farts, it felt like, right? You're just like, what are you guys doing? They missed the PAT as well, didn't they, at some point? I want to say that was in the fourth quarter as well. So it sort of gave, and like these are those weird important moments where it's like it keeps it at a doable number where if you're the Bears, you're like, we've still got a fucking chance. And like to have that, like even a hint of a belief makes such a big fucking difference when you're playing in a spot like this. You're at home, you've got these fans. They've all realized that as well. They're all going off their head. And it was unreal to watch Soldier Field just be absolutely fucking jumping in the fourth quarter of a playoff game against Green Bay. Because for all the fucking storied rivalry bullshit between these two teams, they've barely played any fucking games that matter. And this one did. That was kind of neat. And then that final drive, it just felt so... It didn't feel inevitable because obviously, like, it gets saved time and time again. But it was just Ben Johnson just throwing his schlong out on the table and go, oh, yeah? You, me, Caleb, let's go fuck him. Check it out. Like, Jesus, all right. The DJ Moore pass, just amazing again on a fucking frozen rope. Again, gaspy, just like, oh my God, there's a dude there. Yes, this is fucking gnarly. Like, I'm going off with the oldest squid. He's just like, Dad, what's happening? I'm like, I want the Bears to win. Fuck the Packers. And he's just like, all right, cool. And then they couldn't do anything at the end. They had like a minute 43 left or some shit like that. And they just couldn't quite get there because they suddenly needed a touchdown to win the game because they were down 4 because they missed a PAT and they missed a field goal. So there you go. Kicking matters, turns out. And you can't spell Brandon McManus without anus.
Yep.
Tough one.
Awesome.
Awesome.
And then there's the wild clip. Firstly of the, do we want to call it a non-handshake? Whatever you want to fucking call it. Clearly, fucking Ben Johnson just fucking hates everyone in his own division. And obviously, as an MC East fan where we are the same, I'm fucking here for it, right? Clearly has something against the Lions. And then the 2 fucking shitty handshakes that he's had with LaFleur, and then the clip inside the locker room where he's shouting out and he's like, fuck those guys, fuck the Packers. I hate those guys. I'm like, yes, we're all about it. That's what we're here for. Happy days.
So good. Great job, Bears. That was awesome. I was delighted by that as well. Like, because this is what they've done all year. Like, it's been the most fun part about it. Like, it'd be
cardiac Bears.
It'd be shit house to be a Chicago fan because they've put you through fucking hell. But now it's all worth it if you win. And I'll talk about this with the Pats. You win a playoff game. It just, your season is like undoubtedly a fucking thumbs up.
It's worthwhile. Like,
almost no matter what happens from here on out.
Yeah.
Like, you know that you're sort of pointing in the right direction, kind of. Yeah. So that was awesome. Way to go, Bears.
Yeah.
Buffalo 27, the Yags 24. This was a classic fuck shit game. There was so much fuck shit in this game. There were 4 lead changes in the fourth quarter after just Trevor Lawrence sort of a half turned back into like the Trevor Lawrence of old. And in the second half, really fucking leaned into, hey, remember me from earlier this season when I was shithouse? And you're like, oh, don't do that. He's like, I'm going to do it. Check it out. Doing it. Hey! And it was 2 interceptions, 3 touchdowns. Josh Allen only manages the 1 touchdown, but he runs for 33 yards himself, 2 touchdowns in the end for himself. And really, it all sort of comes down to the very, very awesome game. Like, if you didn't watch this one, this was like the 5 a.m. start. I was up punching through this one, just going, this is the most Jacksonville Buffalo game you can imagine. Like, it was just, again, I was delighted. I'm like laying there, the iPad, headphones in. Oh, I don't think I told you this. I ended up in the hospital last Tuesday as well, Gary.
What? No, I didn't know that.
After we recorded last week's show.
And you went off to Punch Tins in Richmond?
I went off to Punch Tins, go see one of my favorite bands, McCluskey, and I was putting in my little ear plugs to block a bit of the noise because McCluskey are very loud. Unfortunately, one of them got stuck in my ear canal. So the tiny little rubber piece had come off and actually lodged in my ear canal, which was not great, but I was still sort of like, all right, this is a bit fucky. Sort of trying throughout the rest of the night. Like, it's like halfway through the band, it's like, oh, fuck, that's not good. So a couple more tins after the show, going to the city, a couple of more tins, and I'm like, I think I'm going to go home via the emergency department, which is like actually on the way home anyway, so fucking why not? And the in and out in 5 minutes, the nurse was fucking awesome, bang, bang, bang. But then smash cut to Monday morning and the 5 a.m. game. I've woken up, rolled over, grabbed my headphones and my iPad as per usual, and as I've put in my left headphone, I'm like, Oh, I don't know about this. It's just, oh.
You got PTSD or fucking
PTSD.
you'll never use a cotton bud again.
Because especially as I'm there, like in bed watching it on the iPad, you're sort of laying on the side, and I'm like, that's just going to push it in. I don't want to do this. So I sort of sat up on the pillow and sort of just like watched it that way. But it was a crazy game, and like you had the Trevor Lawrence interception. Basically, he almost bookended the game, right? He had one in the first quarter and then one at the end.
Yeah.
That essentially ended the game, and they sort of just went back and forth, back and forth. They get into the second quarter. It starts getting really janky. They turn it over on downs a couple of times. There's a missed field goal, all this sort of shit going on. Jacksonville looked awesome. That pool, like, hooked me up. And then in the fourth quarter, it was 13-10 going into the fourth quarter. We go touchdown, 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 interception, game over.
Yeah.
That's a Buffalo-Jacksonville game right there.
So the thing for me is this, Jim. In my mind, Bills deserve to lose this game. If Trevor Lawrence hadn't thrown that pick, they've had the ball at the 1. So they did the tush push of Allen that went for like fucking 10 yards, 15 yards or whatever it is, and was called short with a minute to go. No timeouts to the Jags, if I recall correctly. So
one left, right?
One left. So you would fucking take the ball and dive at the feet of your offensive line so that start the clock. Like, what the fuck are you doing? And they punched it in first go and gave them the ball back with a minute to go. I'm like, all right, if someone had done that if you'd done that to peak Patrick Mahomes 3 years ago, you would have made every fucking news outlet known to man. Like, you had just got so lucky that like 2 plays later, I think it was, that Lawrence threw the pick. But I looked at this going, oh my God, they've just given up. They've just taken what should have been a 99% chance and made it like a fucking 70% chance. Like, it made no sense. Like, for Sean McDermott, like, Josh Allen smarter than that. Like, they didn't even pretend to take. It boggled my mind.
So they had 64, 63 seconds, I think it was, right? And this is the one where I went into the sort of deep diving. What are we actually going to do here? And if there's a team that knows to not leave too much fucking, as you said, right? Enough time on the clock just to go get your fucking head kicked in right at the end in just deleterious fashion, right? It'd be horrible.
Deleterious. There you go.
And this is the team. And they still did it. And I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. If you just make sure you go in and score, that's cool. If you don't feel great about it, sometimes you can get too cute. And this time they didn't get too cute and it actually worked out. But fuck, they were lucky that it worked out because of the Lawrence interception. It was a horrible throw. Nowhere fucking near it. But anyway, good win by the Bills. Pretty funny stuff. Off they go. Jags done. Oh, geez. Niners 23. Eagles 19. Gaz, take us through it.
Yeah, it wasn't great, Jim. Look, it came out as the start of the game. San Francisco started with the ball and moved quite easily. Throughout the game, the trend was that our defensive line held McCaffrey in check. 15 carries, 48 yards, 3.2 average across the entire game. But in that first drive, like, all-pro Quinyon Mitchell got burnt like 3 fucking times. DeMarcus Robinson went fucking off. He had 61 yards in that first drive. No, he had more than that because he had those 61-yarder. It was just it was out of control, right? Ends up with 6 receptions for 111 yards, and they had a pretty easy touchdown on that first round. And I'm like, having as many 3 and outs as we have all year, let's just not fucking do that. And they started handing the ball to Barkley and gave a little bit of a mix of Tank Bigsby as well. And the running game was working. It was fucking going all right. We ended up getting in and punching it in. And then kind of missed the extra point, Jim. So what should have been a tied game is all of a sudden 7-6. And I'm just like, we've said all year with Missy Elliott behind the ball that that'll cost us come playoff time. And sure as fuck, it did. We ended up scoring again, held them to a field goal in the second quarter and went in 13-10. Held that for a little bit, got a field goal and kept them scoreless in the third quarter. Went in at 16-10. And then they scored, Jim. And then we scored a field goal, and then they scored, Jim. So we went down. We were 4 points down, and I don't want to tell you how to do maths, but if you were 4 points down and you had that extra point, you would be 3 points down. And we moved the ball pretty fucking easily, clearly within field goal range, only to fucking cook it. So once again, penalties cost us. There was a couple of holding calls that we were guilty of, some false starts, just really, really shitty things that have cost us all year. And then they couldn't get AJ Brown into the game. Saquon had a lot of hits behind the line of scrimmage where I think we had 6 or so negative plays, but still enough positive. Ended up with a 29-yard long, over 100 yards from scrimmage again. Tank Bigsby had some nice stuff. They didn't run well with Hurts, 14 yards. They could have used his legs a lot more. The conversation through the year, all of the narrative was, are they saving his legs and making sure he's not injured? Well, they didn't fucking use him, right? They didn't get AJ Brown into the game. In that last drive, the last 2 drives when we need him, AJ Brown dropped a fucking as you always say, Jim, if you can touch it, you can catch it. And AJ missed one that he was pretty pissy about. There was a couple of really nice passes during the game that Hurts just dropped some bombs that AJ just didn't get to. Smitty dropped one. It was just one of those games that, with all of their problems and all their issues, San Fran did enough, even losing guys like Kittle. They got Trent Williams back. We didn't get Lane Johnson back for the game, unfortunately. But Purdy did enough. They found enough room where they needed to. They found just enough holes in Vic Fangio's zone. Quinyon Mitchell came up with 2 interceptions, came back from his horrible first drive. But we just kept, once again, just not showing enough movement, sustained drives on offense. Too predictable, not enough motion to actually disguise anything. And in the last play to go where we needed to, we had plenty of time. We needed to get a first down on 4th and I think it was 11. Ended up a timing route that ended up going to Dallas Goedert, who was blanketed by 3 people with AJ Brown one-on-one down the outside. And there's a massive clip going around all of the socials, which is fucking Kevin Patullo announcing the call to Jalen Hurts and him like, what? And Sirianni turning to him going, do you want to do it? And like, they just almost can't believe what Kevin Patullo's called. So, look, years on and off, make it to the Super Bowl, losing the Wog. So what happens, Jim, is that we make it to the Super Bowl. We have Jonathan Gannon and Shane Steichen go to head coaching positions. We end up handing it over to inexperienced play callers who shit the bed. We then go, you know what we should do? Get some veteran people with some novel ideas. Get Vic Fangio and Kellen Moore. Win a Super Bowl. Lose Kellen Moore. Promote someone from internal who's got a really good relationship with the team, but never called a fucking play. And we already know that Sirianni's not great at calling plays, so can't just fucking take over. And all of a sudden, we were stuck in the death spiral that we're in this season. So more power to the 49ers because they've done a fucking amazing job. We talked about how injured they've been. You know, Dwan Jennings, the trick play. They went into the trick plays. McCaffrey went off from a reception point of view, still over 100 yards in scrimmage. I feel like the next teams that might be a little bridge too far for like their defense has definitely still got a lot of holes. We just couldn't take advantage of them with the way our offense is playing. So
the one that got me was the timeout on that last fourth down, because that's the game, right? Because now you've only got 2 timeouts. You had all 3, and so we better call it. Just you end up throwing it over the middle in between 3 dudes anyway, incomplete.
Yeah, you're fucking predictable. Like if you're gonna do it, be creative. But they just weren't.
But that last sequence, right? So the 4 downs is as you said, like within field goal range, easily too, like 20 yards out or whatever.
Yeah,
I think it's sack, incompletion. You're like, whoa, that's a fucking rough way to go out.
Yeah,
and to burn that time out as well. But up until that point, I'm still like, I think they're going to win this. Like they're going to there'll be like one Devonta Smith fucking pass, there'll be a got it pass, and then boom, they're in. But it was pretty crazy, like all the way right down. Like the fact that it came down to that 4th down, and then the next game sort of did as well with like a Justin Herbert sack to sort of finish it off. You're like, oh, this is like fucking pretty awesome close football.
Yeah.
And I did not message you for a long time after the game.
As I said, I actually wasn't. I was annoyed at the fact that we went out with a whimper. You know what I mean? I think that was more about the fact. It was like, you know what? You've got such star power, and you've got one of the top defenses in the league, and just the offense and the special teams didn't live up. Actually, I take that back about the special teams, because we had blocked field goals, blocked punts. Like having Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis in the middle there has been fucking mammoth for us. But we need to fix the kicking game. We need an offensive coordinator who is somewhat creative. All these new kids coming through, or a veteran like Dayball, Mikey McD, who are like those offensive minds who are experienced play callers, who can come in and contribute. Because if there's one thing you know about Jeff Laurie and Howie Roseman, they're not going to sit on their fucking hands. Yep. So, see you next year, Jim.
Fly, Eagles, fly. I'm going to cry into my cereal.
Look at how relaxed my Super Bowl's going to be this year. I'm going to be a fucking menace.
I like it.
It's going to be great.
Pats 16, Chargers 3. Whew. Was watching this with the youngest squid. No, the oldest squid. Youngest one was a daycare. So older squid. So, Dad, are the Patriots going to win this? I'm like, yeah, I don't know. Your dad's got some money on him, pal, so let's hope that they do and you can get a new pair of shoes. But this was an arm wrestle for the first half as both teams sort of figured each other out. A couple of weird fuck-ups. There was the weird tip passing deception, which wasn't great, obviously. The 2 turnovers from the Pats really were like the leveler, and I was surprised. Like I wasn't surprised by the Chargers defense being this good, because we know that they're pretty decent. I was a little bit more surprised by Drake May being a little bit antsy here and there. Settled in the second half, and you kind of all I do with these Pats games now, Gaz, is wait for the one weird play either on offense or special teams, where we either force a turnover or just something fucky happens, right? And that's where they sort of almost build their game from. It didn't quite happen. Like we turned them over late in the fourth quarter with that crazy fumble. We recovered. I don't think we scored from that though. And you're like, are we going to be all right? So it's 6-3 at the end of the first half. We've sort of moved the ball okay, but it sort of sputtered out here and there. In the second half, you've got the weird fumble, the sort of half-pass fumble where it gets knocked out of Drake May's hands. You're like, that's not great. But the crazy part was they just kept holding them to like no fucking points. Like, I think that fumble was, I feel like it was pretty close to it, wasn't it? And then they hold them to like a punt. And you're like, that's pretty good. So we then kick another field goal. It's 9-3. And I'm like, can we just get up 2 scores? And I think we're going to be all right. Because the defense was absolutely bend, don't break the entire time. They never broke because they only scored 3 fucking points all game. And then by the time we got that last fumble, you're like, there's just almost not enough time because we scored the touchdown in the fourth quarter, the Hunter Henry pass. It was beautiful. And you're like, oh, we're up 2 scores. I think we're going to be okay because I just don't see them scoring enough twice and stopping us, and boom. The fumble.
Chargers in the second half. Punt, fumble, downs.
Yep.
Wow.
And the downs was where Juzzy Herbs got absolutely fucking obliterated by Milton Williams, and it was just like,
you can thank me, Jim. He's a fucking thanks for giving him here.
It was crazy, and like there was another couple of I think he got sacked 6 times in total, and it felt like a few times more. The one where he got sacked and like just the ball was fucking going everywhere, like it was. So that fumble where it just goes fucking bloop because he's been fucking KO'd.
Like sacked for 6 times, but 11 QB hits to go along with it.
And like that, more than anything, I think that sort of shows you that their O-line eventually just wore down. And then like that smack sack at the end of it to finish was just fucking the icing on the cake, right? That was the game over. 4th down, pack her up, boys, you're done. And it felt like the Chargers were kind of like one of those big passes. Like Herbs had these big passes and he would sail them, or the receiver would like just sort of get to them, or our defense was just good enough to sort of break something up. And it felt like one of those big plays and they were right in the fucking game, but they never quite got there, which, probably solves a lot of the Justin Herbert debate, I reckon. Doesn't at all, Gaz. People are going to continue, like, the fucking sun will have burned out and people will be arguing whether or not Justin Herbert is elite. Vrabes, I think, coached a really good game. The defense was super solid. The Henry touchdown was really, really, really good. And you could sort of see Drake May in that second half. He was just much better. Like the Ramondre was awesome. Like the little fucking screen passes, the Josh McDaniel special, that is.
49 yards or something, 48 yards. Yeah.
Crushed it. And just like every time they needed like 6 yards, he'd sort of get them 6 yards. Like it's the exact opposite of what I thought of Ramondre early in the season. It's like, oh, we need 6 yards. Well, guys, here's 3. And that's not 6. What are you doing? Come on. So good win. I'll take it. As I said earlier, one playoff win at least is a fucking thumbs up of a season for like a young team or like a team that was one of the fucking worst in the NFL last year. Same goes for Chicago. So happy days there. Yeah. And then Houston 30, Pittsburgh 6. Is that the end of Aaron Rodgers? Is his last touchdown in the NFL a pick 6, Gaz? Oh boy. Don't know, but the big one here was obviously the Houston defense came out. And this game was fucking brutal to watch for the vast majority of it. And then it opened up in the second half after CJ Stroud stopped giving the ball to the Steelers.
5 fumbles. I was in and out today because some of us have got real jobs, Jim. So I only watched bits and pieces of this in and out. But I was watching highlights and notes, and was CJ Stroud turns the ball over again, and I'm like, oh, they must be getting fucking, these Steelers defense must be doing really well. And then I look at the score and I'm like, oh yeah, that didn't really change much, did it?
No. So this was 7-6 going into the fourth quarter.
Wow.
Ended 36
23 points. So, yep.
Yeah, it was a really crazy game. But the biggest thing is obviously those 23 points in the fourth quarter. I think there was a field goal, and then there was the fumble return for a touchdown. They then had another touchdown, and then the interception. And you're like, oh, that was crazy. I think was it Woody Marks had the touchdown run in. Off he goes. Then they have the pick 6, and you're like, that escalated quickly. Jesus. And you're like, yeah, that was the game. Like Aaron Rodgers sat down and was like, all right, back to the darkness retreat for me, I guess. And off he went. And I remain as terrified of the fucking Houston Texans as I was like 2 months ago. But in the second round of the playoffs at home, I'm okay. So Steelers, DK, it was interesting to watch DK and AJ Brown both have like pretty easy catches, just in big moments dropped. DK had a couple where you're like, whoa. And then I don't think
the DK one I saw today, it definitely feels like the DK one was like, I've no fucking nothing to give credit to AJ for, but like that one for DK today was just crocodile hands. That was pretty bad.
It was a bit of a rough one, I'll tell you. So he has 2 receptions on 5 targets in the end after that. So rough game. Texans defense looked fucking awesome. They messed up Pittsburgh, but this is a 400-year-old QB up against one of the best, literally the best defense, I reckon, in the NFL. So didn't really expect otherwise. That's why we both went the Texans. Speaking of which, I went 6 of 6 on the picks this week. Bang!
Jesus.
Pretty bloody good. You went 5 or 6, so
Yeah.
not bad. Not bad. Hey, let's do some quick yeah-nahs. Hey, should John Harbaugh be at the top of the coaching vacancy list, Gaz?
I think so. Like, why would you not? Like, what he's done with that team. I mean, like, I don't know how much of there's some coordinator choices that were probably questionable. That definitely hurt them over the last few years. And there was some injury like that. Their defense was fucking smashed last year.
Yep.
And he's got a pedigree. So, he's led them pretty far.
I like
it. Look, I think he's got to find there has to be the right mix. At least he's saying that he wants to bring in a GM. It's not going to be that kind of, I'm going to be my own GM kind of vibe, which always goes well, right? But he needs to mix with an owner and a GM who's going to like help him build the team that he wants to do. Because I can't imagine him just sitting back and going, oh yeah, no worries, Phil, I'll win with whatever players you give me. That's not going to be a strategy.
Yeah, I mean, Giants, Falcons, Dolphins, would you rank it sort of that way? I don't know if I'd probably go the Falcons. I feel like there's a little bit more there to work with from a John Harbaugh stance, maybe so than the Giants. I think there's a little bit more to be done there. But
yeah, look, I think I think I mentioned last week, as much as I hate saying this about a division rival, I think the bones are there, definitely there for the Giants, because they've got that really brutal defensive line who's still young. You've obviously got, the running back and quarterback will only be coming into their second year, and your star WR1 is only going to be going into his third year, right? So, look, the pieces are definitely there. It's not like if you go to the Dolphins, people were leaving en masse and throwing hand grenades at the end of last year. So this is full rebuild, and I don't think you've got kind of the assets to do it. Whereas, I definitely feel the other two over these guys. I'd prefer him to go to the Falcons, if I'm honest.
I'll pay that. Speaking of which, how many of your kidneys would you sell to have DJ Mikey McD come in as your O coordinator?
Could you imagine how fucking weird the coaching room of Vic Fangio, the grumpy old dude who just spends half his time talking about how bad the Phillies are going because he grew up in Philly.
And making meatballs for his meatball player of the week. Which
Sirianni doing these weird speeches about flowers and growth and all this sort of stuff. And Mikey McD just being a weirdo anyway. Like, I'm about it. Don't get me wrong. I think it'd be fucking great having those 3 literal, completely opposite personalities. It's the same as when we had Dougie Peterson, who was kind of Mr. Nice Guy, everyone's favorite, like everyone loves playing for him, blah, blah. And then just grumpy Jim Schwartz on the outside, just fucking running the defense. Like, Jim Schwartz is just, even at the Browns, he just comes across like he just fucking hates everyone. Like, just don't talk to me.
Yeah.
I'll just go and run my side, my part of the 53, man. Just let me do my shit. You just score the points. I'll stop him scoring the points, and then we'll be okay, right? Like, he just comes across like a massive prick. It works, though. He's a defensive coordinator. You expect that dog, right?
I love it. I think Mikey McD in Philly would be fucking amazing.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, it'd be great.
All right. Yeah, who of the 6 losers are in the best to worst spots heading into next year? So I was kind of thinking, like, I looked at this, I'm like, I feel like the Steelers are in a pretty rough spot because I feel like Tomlin might still get fired. And they don't have a QB, presumably, unless they roll with Rodgers one more time. But I don't know if that's a really good one. The Chargers, if they get an offensive line, they'll get Slater and Alt back. They should be a bit better there at least. The defense is pretty good. Obviously, Philly, we know all the questions. I don't feel like it's bottoming out. I feel like they'll just re-fucking tool and they'll be fine.
We know it's still open, yeah.
Jags, I think they're on the up. They're feeling pretty good. And to me, and Carolina sort of feel like on the up. I think the ones that probably feel the worst out of all of these losses this week is probably Green Bay, right? Because they fucking blew this huge lead against a division opponent. They might fire their fucking coach, which is crazy. I think he's really good. But I don't know. Do you feel like the Steelers or the Packers are in the worst spot out of those six?
I think the Steelers. They've been riding with Band-Aids at QB for a number of years. We've had that, we've been saying for a number of years about that mediocrity can be a franchise killer, right? Because you don't bottom out enough to get the assets to go through a true rebuild. You can get lucky, right? As we said about the 49ers, got lucky with Purdy. We got lucky with Hurt. So whatever you say, haters, likers, whatever, we got him in the second round. What was Dak? Dak was third round.
I mean, Lamar Jackson was at the very end of the first. That sort of stuff is right. And,
so you can get lucky, all that sort of stuff. But they've also got an aging defense. They're filling holes there. Wide receiver, you kind of never know. They let Pickens go, and he went fucking off in Dallas. Their running game seems to be like it's hot and cold. I just don't see, apart from, when that defense is on, it's brutal. And you've still got TJ and you've all that sort of stuff. But the secondary was suspect. Their fucking offense, you were like, where the fuck are you getting points from? So I don't know. They need to somehow find a rebuild on the fly, but they've not really been doing. They've gone from Rusty to fucking Aaron, just dudes in the twilight of their career. I don't know.
Crazy.
They need to find that new young superstar. Yeah.
Nice. All right. Good bloke of the week. Who are we buying a beer this week? Well, how about we buy George Kittle a bottle of tequila? Because that was a pretty crazy story. Very good one. Jed York, hated sort of dude, but seemed, came in there, was like, George, can I get you anything? He's like, a bottle of tequila because I've just fucking torn my Achilles, you dickhead. So he got him a bottle of tequila. Nice. George Kittle fucking rocks. I'm just having, I don't know, I've not torn my Achilles, touch wood, not yet. I'm dealing with Achilles fucking, tendinopathy, which just fucking sucks. Tearing it, I can imagine, would be the worst fucking vibe in the world when your team is still alive in the playoffs as well. So got him a bottle of tequila. Good on you, George Kittle. Looking at, just best of luck in the rehab. That fucking sucks. Just, poor dude. All the injuries that he's copped. But sticking with tight ends, Colston Loveland, he deserves a beer because, wow, everybody early the first half of this season, Tyler Warren. Why would you take Colston Loveland over Tyler Warren? Guess who was really fucking good in the second half of the season, Gaz, and stepped up massively in the playoffs? Colston fucking Loveland. And that was pretty cool. He deserves a beer. And then my favorite, a big guy touchdown today. That was great. The scoop and score from Sheldon Rankins runs it in. That was awesome. The fact that it was also fucking Aaron Rodgers getting walloped made it way more fun because you also have incredible pictures of him getting absolutely fucking poleaxed, and the look on his face is like absolutely yep, that's me. I guess you're wondering what I'm doing here. It's like, that's exactly that moment in the Aaron Rodgers movie where he goes, and that's when I decided to retire.
Yep.
So good on him. On your Sheldon Rankins. Anyone you want to buy a beer, Gaz?
No, I'm just gonna skink off into the off season. Mate.
We can't buy that kid out the front of the link a beer because he's too young.
He's saying exactly what everyone's thinking though.
That's old mate, no mates. Old mate, no mates. AJ Brown, 0 mates in Philly right now. Kevin Patullo, 0 mates in Philly right now. And poor Jake Smelliot, no mates in Philly right now.
Missy Elliott. Yeah. Look, I think the one thing that, everyone knows, but I think the Missy Elliott being in the first quarter kind of, it doesn't come down to one play. It's kind of, we could have got this into, but I think Kevin Patullo, he's been that, all season, it's been that thing like, hang on. Yeah, we can blame the injuries and how worn out our offensive line is after a Super Bowl run and after 2,000 yards blocking for fucking for Saquon. But the inability to get the passing game going with those three receivers is just mind-boggling, right? So, yeah, Kevin Patullo is going to be the one who is on. They're saying all the right things. No, we stand by them, all that sort of stuff. AJ and I are fine. This came from Hertz today. Elliott, he's been a problem all year. So, yeah, look, fuck. All three or none of the three could be on the team next year. Yeah, you just don't fucking know.
I did tweet out, I believe, AJ Brown, you can't bitch and moan all season and then drop that fucking pass. It was absolutely brutal.
Yeah.
Anyway, what can you do? The other one, oh, mate, no, mates. Erin Andrews out there looking like Cruella de Vil. That was the picture of her in the broadcast. You need to Google it right now. It's the most fucking hilarious coat you've ever seen. It's like, in a cost of living crisis, to roll into the fucking broadcast looking like, a fucking billionaire heiress is just insane gear.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Now, Erin Andrews nearly breaks the internet with alter fur coat during Niners-Eagles game. I fucking wasn't paying attention to that. I was worried about losing, Jim.
Insane. Absolutely insane. Matt LaFleur versus Ben Johnson versus Dick Vitale versus Stay Classy. This was a fun one this week as well. You mentioned this earlier. I'm all about Ben Johnson going, fuck the Packers.
Yeah.
And Dick Vitale and a bunch of other people, way to stay classy, Ben Johnson. Be classy when you win. Shut the fuck up. You're playing a division rival in the playoffs. That was sick. You kicked their ass. You came back from 18 points down. Fucking let him celebrate with his team. I think the only big difference was that the cameras were in there, and that would just be said anyway, right? Like, the fact that it got caught on camera was a bit of a pain in the fucking ass. But the Matt LaFleur versus Ben Johnson beef building up to this point has been unreal. The handshakes in the 3 games they've played in 7 weeks or whatever. It's just gotten progressively more like, fuck you, man, fuck you. Like, it was so good. I love this.
I forgot to mention this before, but just showing the mentality of it. Did you notice how the exact opposite happened with the Eagles game? So Nick Sirianni is copping all sorts of flack and calling for his firing because at the end of the game, he walked up, shook Shanahan's hand, patted him on the back and said, go win it all, mate. And the Eagles fans are going, fuck that guy. He's not one of us. We hate the Niners. Fuck him. Fire him right now. Don't let him back on the bus. We're being too fucking nice. Too sportsmanlike.
Insane Philly fans. Just
love it.
The other one, obviously, Brendan McManus. Mates, missing the field goal. That was, the fact they lose by 4 after missing a PAT is just crazy. So, tough one there for the Packers fans and for Brendan McManus. And then finally, a bit of Outback Takeout. It's Tuesday at Outback, which means it's our hump day special. We're just going to go get one of those camels out in the Outback, one of the feral ones, chop off its humps, boom, chuck those in the oven, 48 hours, comes out like rubber, but it's bloody delicious. And it's only at Outback. And today's Flame Grill take is John Harbaugh and Mike Tomlin should just swap teams. I don't want either of them out of the AFC North, Gaz. Just let them swap. Let's see what happens. They'll just do the exact same thing that they were doing on those teams. And Harbaugh can take Kyler Murray with him as well, right? And just go, I've got a little baby Lamar. That's fun. And off they go. I just want to see them play each other twice a year, every year, until the sun burns out. A lot of sun burning today, but
there's a lot of sun burning out.
So what do you reckon? Can we just switch them over?
That'd be pretty fun. I'm just trying to think of Tomlin on what he'd be like on the Ravens.
It'd be great. I reckon Harbaugh would be great for the Steelers as well. The other one is, out of the first week of the playoffs, did any team really sort of change your an idea of the 2 1 seeds are just sitting at home going, this is fucking awesome. We are so much better than all this.
This is winnable. This is very, very fucking winnable.
Seattle and Denver are just this is unreal. Fine. I kind of feel like we might just get a 1 versus 1 soupy and it just goes fucking chalk the rest of the way. But
Potential.
anyway.
Yeah, well, I mean,
yeah,
I'm looking at these matchups. Yeah.
Feels pretty good, right? Because I feel
the
like
only one, obviously, looking through, Seattle's got to feel the most comfortable. I feel like the AFC's way closer on any given Sunday. But I mean, yeah. Well, I guess we'll talk about those tips. Talk through those in a second.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't not. I don't think it would surprise. Well, I think the Bills are fucking favorites. So, yeah, it wouldn't surprise anybody if they went in and beat Denver. But at the same time, Denver have got to feel pretty good. We're at home. We're going to awesome defense. Seattle, same vibe. Little Aussie Battler of the Week. We lose Jordan Mailata, but we've still got Mitch Wish out there in Buffalo. Dicko, Seattle. Tory Taylor was awesome. Yeah, still got Jeremy Crawshaw as well. So we've got plenty of Aussies still in action. Nice. That's it. No fantasy or super coach because it's all over Red Rover. I finished 26th overall. That was all right.
Nice.
Take that. Time for week 2 playoff picks. Yeah. Brought to you by Double. As per usual, you can go follow all of our picks. We went 6 of 6, or at least I went 6 of 6 this week. They're all on Double. I think that was at like 45-15 in the end. Not bad if you put a couple of shekels on that, just saying. But you can go find all the picks over at Dabble. I think the link is in our show description or in our social bios as well. Go follow it along. Check it all out. Tell them your mates Jim and Gaz sent you. Right, week 2. We start off with Buffalo-Denver, Gaz. The aforementioned game. So obviously the 2 1 seeds play on the Saturday games, which are the Sunday our time, because they've been off for 2 weeks. I had a Niners mate complaining to me already that they've got back-to-back short weeks. It's like, what are you going to do? Get more injured? Like,
yeah.
Oh no, what are you going to do? But this is the 8:30 Sunday morning game, so I love a good 8:30 one. That's pretty fun. Buffalo, Denver. Ooh, that looks like it's now switched to -1.5 for Denver. I thought that was a bit strange. Buffalo would be favorites. Let's just check because that's probably an American odds maker there that I'm seeing. And, here we go. Buffalo is still half-point favorite in Australia. So we'll take that one because it's the Australian one. So Denver plus 0.5. Basically, this is who do you think wins?
Yeah.
I'm taking Buffalo. I think them getting a little bit of like Denver's defense is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, right? I don't know if it matters when you play Josh Allen.
Right. Gabe Davis isn't great.
Yeah, it is shit. Maybe they'll have to use Keon Coleman some more. Shavers. It's just Denver. The Bo Nix stuff. I thought the Buffalo defense is pretty solid against Lawrence this week. And I kind of feel like they're just going to have like that little bit of momentum after that game against the Jags, pulling it out, getting a little bit of the, we nearly fucking blew that. And then I feel like they could just do it in Denver. This is such a fun game, though. Denver-Buffalo. I'm so happy this is the way the matchups worked out. So,
that's good.
I'm going to take Buffalo. You are going to take?
I'm the same. I'm on the Buffalo train. Look, and there's also that playoff experience. And we've said if he's got any year, like the pressure that Josh Allen will be putting on himself, assumedly, like they're just experienced dudes are dropping off, right? So,
no Lamar. No Patrick Mahomes, no Joe Burrow. Just fucking here you go. He's got Bo Nix up against him this week.
Bo Nix, Drake May,
CJ Stroud. Yep. Then we have at 12 noon on Sunday. Niners Seahawks, an NFC West battle for the ages. Seahawks are 7.5-point favorites, which feels pretty big for the divisional round. Don't usually sort of swing more than 4.5, but that's how banged up the Niners are. And I feel like the loss of Kittle means the run game gets a lot harder for them to establish without, with McCaffrey there trying to carve it up against the Seahawks defense. I don't quite see it. The 7.5 sort of worries me, and I feel like the Niners might be good enough to keep it close, but it also might be the look out. It's suddenly like they win at 20-3 or some shit. You're like, bit of a grind, but they cover pretty handily.
I think when they played each other a couple of weeks ago, it was a couple of weeks ago, right? And I said, when I made the pick, I said, look, I think the Niners defense offense because they were coming in after 10 touchdowns to Purdy in 2 weeks. I said the Seattle defense would be enough to keep the 49ers offense in check, but then the Seattle offense against the San Francisco defense is way better. So I think that's going to be the advantage. And then ever since that game, you've added to that by giving a week's worth of rest for Seattle at home, and the Kittle thing. So I think all of that adds up to Seattle being quite comfortable.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go Seattle. I think the Kittle thing, if they don't lose Kittle, I'd go the Niners.
Yeah.
I think they
the bridge too far. Like I said, look, we should have. There's no reason we should have lost the way that we did, except for a shit offense. So that'll do it.
Yeah, like the only other one that sort of gives you a bit of pause is the Sam Darnold pumpkining, but I kind of feel like they're almost a hint pumpkin resistant.
Yeah,
if they can just run the shit out of the fucking ball, just run it down their dicks. Simple as that.
Yep.
So that's the Saturday games.
Mm-hmm.
We then get to, so that's our Sunday. Then their Sunday, our Monday games. Houston, New England. God. I've been fucking eyeing off this team for at least 2 months. It annoys the shit out of me that we've now got them. I still think I'm going to take the Pats. I fucking hate the Texans so much. They just scare the fuck out of me. To the point where there's like a game that I remember watching like week 3, 2015, something like that, in New York. I went around to a bar that I didn't usually watch football in, because like I think the one around the corner from me was just fucking packed, and I'm just like, it's a little bit too much for a Pats game. I'll take it easy. I'll just go find somewhere else, sit there, have a couple of quiet beers to myself. And Will Fuller, do you remember him? Went fucking off his head. Deshaun Watson's just like fucking throwing everywhere. I'm like this. I'm just like despondent. I'm like, this fucking sucks. I fucking hate the Texans. And then Brady just like carved them up and we won the game. And like that worked. It was like 33-30 or some shit, I want to say. I think the Pats got into a little bit of a groove. Watching that Houston offense, however, is probably what gives me, I'll take the Pats -2.5 confidence, because I think CJ Stroud was a bit of a mess.
Yeah. And he's had those games all year. So, yeah.
And I feel like if we can just stymie them enough, we should be able to outscore them just. So,
I agree. I'm sticking with that. Yeah.
And then we've got Rams at Chicago. You're going the Pats as well, Gaz, though, before we move.
I am. Yeah. That's what I said. Agree. Yep.
Nice. Chicago +3.5 at home against the Rams. That's... I don't know about this one. Talk us through it, Gaz. You've gone Chicago.
I may change this one, but I'm worried about Stafford's finger. Like in the first half versus when after that injury, whatever they said, the fact that they weren't treating it and he was just wandering around with clearly injured finger. Like, what the fuck's going on here? That worries me. But on the flip side, there is a lot more experience in the Rams in terms of playoffs, and you got to wonder whether Chicago played their Super Bowl this week.
Yep.
There was so much passion, so much involved in this. So this could swing, but I think if you're going to give me 3 points and it could really come down to it, I'm just going to go with Chicago at home here. I'm a little bit sketchy about how shaky the Rams have been in the last few weeks.
Yep. I'm going to go the Rams. I don't like it though, but I'm sort of like similar to you. Like I want to know a little bit more about Stafford's finger.
Yeah.
Before you end up seeing like the actual dabble picks go in there on like Friday or whatever, whenever I put them in.
Yep.
I want to take Chicago +3.5 for the minute. I'll go the Rams because I feel like I trust their defense a little bit more than anything that either squads can do for the Bears. But I mean, +3.5 at home for this Bears team that's spent all year just doing weird shit.
Yeah.
You kind of want to take it, right?
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
All right. So we'll see what happens. But for the minute, Rams, me, you've got the Bears. The Bears.
It's the only difference.
Amazing. So I think I picked up one more. So for the season, I'm up by 7. So I got one. Bit of a tough one. I don't know if you can make up 7 in with only 7 games remaining.
I could.
We'd have to go. We'd have to go all different the entire way.
Yeah. Which
Up to
won't
you,
happen.
All right. But there you go. Week 2, Super Divisional Round is coming up. That's going to be fun. I can't wait. And that's it for NFL Australia for this week. In the meantime, make sure you're following us on Facey, Twitter, IG, YouTube, TikTok, all the good stuff. I'm now back in the saddle at home. So I'll probably do an end-of-season power rankings. I think that's ready and in the chamber. So we'll do some other video stuff too. So check that all out across all the socials. Fang us a rating review on your podcast apps, wherever you listen, watch, whatever. Rate, review, star, subscribe. Come on, you're old enough, dumb enough, ugly enough, smart enough, handsome enough to go and do that. I believe in you. You can do it. It's a new year, new you. Go leave a comment. Come on. Help your mates out. Big thanks go to House Hats for the intro and outro song. They rule. Get around. Jim does Supercoach. NBA Supercoach at the moment, still flying, which is pretty crazy. We're doing pretty well. NBA Straya came back yesterday. It was good to be back screaming about hoops. This week is a bit of a chill week as well, but I think we're basically at the halfway mark of the NBA season. So I got a lot of halfway All-Stars, awards, power rankings, all that sort of shit for the rest of the week. So that'll be fun. Gaz, what do you want to plug?
Nothing much. Don't have the tips to plug. Gotta go. It's like going to a bunch of gigs now. I'm getting back out of Thornbury, mate. I'm going to a bunch of gigs coming up. Got some our mates in Side Splitter are supporting Lagwagon. Lagwagon's coming out to do, I think, the 30th anniversary of Hoss. An album, that classic album that got me into skate punk in the 90s, mate. Bunch of stuff's coming
We
out.
are so old.
We are
30
so
years.
fucking
Fucking
old.
hell.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
That's
When
how
are
age
they
works.
actually touring?
In a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
They're playing the Croxton, mate, on a Wednesday night. I might just go to that.
I like that you're saying I'll get out of Thornbury and I'm going to go down the road.
Well, to be fair.
There you
I'm
go.
also thinking of going to Comeback Kid. That's coming up. Got Mid-Youth Crisis coming up. The classic NYC. What else? The Streets I'm going to go see. Mate, it's the year of gigs. I'm fucking back in the saddle, mate. Let's go.
Oh, that's right. All right. Well, go see Gaz at a gig.
Yeah. Fucking say hello. Buy me a beer.
That's it, though. All right. Well, we will catch you next week. One of our teams still remains alive for the minute. We'll see how we're doing next week. So we'll catch you in a bit, you dickheads.
See yous.
Later, Hosen.
The flesh is dripping